in for a new K-beauty trend update. I've been seeing quite a lot of interesting Korean skincare and makeup trends lately, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to share 5 of those with you. In case you don't know me yet, hi, my name is Ulrike. I am a K-beauty and skincare content creator and skincare enthusiast. Happy to have you with me, and let's talk about some interesting, emerging and current K-beauty trends. So the first really big K-beauty trend is a K-beauty ingredient that actually has been around for quite a while. Mostly it's been used as an injectable, similar to hyaluronic acid, for instance, as a sort of filler, but it also has quite a lot of anti-aging properties that also became of interest for skincare. And I'm talking about PDRN. So PDRN stands for a word that I absolutely cannot pronounce. I'll put it somewhere here so you can actually read what I'm trying to say. But basically it stands for polydeoxyribonucleotide. So we're going to stick to PDRN. So since I'm not a science-based skincare influencer, there will very likely be a lot of skincare chemists and dermatologists that can explain the science behind PDRN better, the more popular it becomes here in the West as well. So please refer to these people who really know what they're talking about. But basically, PDRN is a molecule in your cells, specifically here in the cells of your skin, that helps to stimulate collagen production and other growth factors in your skin that lead to younger looking skin. As I said, this is the rudimentary, non-sciencey explanation, so don't crucify me. What you need to know about PDRN is just that it is a substance that is usually won from DNA. Either it can actually be your DNA. You might have heard of those vampire facials that were all the rage a couple of years ago. That is actually apparently a form of PDRN that is then injected back into your skin. I always thought that sounded kind of awful, but anyway, apparently it makes you look amazing. The other classic one that is preferred in skin clinics in Korea is that the PDRN is one from salmon. It is, as I said, injected into the skin. I think sometimes it's also combined with like a derma roller. There's all sorts of PDRN treatments. Some of them sound kind of terrifying. Rejuran is the big company behind the most popular types of PDRN treatments. And Rejuran is also the company that then started creating a skincare line, specifically 2 serums with, again, salmon-based PDRN in those serums. I don't know what the science is behind whether or not PDRN applied topically as a skincare ingredient will do the same as when you inject it. I simply do not know, but a lot of people have raved about the results from PDRN skincare, and it is all the rage, and again has been for a while. In Korea, that Rejuran serum, which is quite pricey, it's usually around $70 when it's not on sale, has been a bestseller at Olive Young, I would say, for at least a year, if not 2 years by now. So what exactly can PDRN do for your skin? Well, the promises are certainly very intense. Again, I cannot say whether or not there's any scientific evidence for this, at least when it comes to topical application without injectables. But since it stimulates collagen production in the skin, it works kind of similar, I guess, to retinol, but supposedly even more impressively so, that it increases sort of the plumpness of the skin. It helps with firmness of the skin, so it works against sagging of the skin, which is my number one issue, unfortunately, in my 40s, much more than wrinkles, to be honest. And it's also supposed to help speed up wound healing and even help with scars and scar tissue. It's also touted as a hyperpigmentation and quote-unquote blemish treatment. Blemish in Korean skincare always means hyperpigmentation. It doesn't mean pimples usually. It refers to hyperpigmentation, which is a really big topic in Korean skincare. So this is a big anti-aging concern. I would say even more prominently so than here in the West usually. As I said, Rejuran, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm also going to write it down somewhere. Rejuran or Rejuran is the biggest competitor when it comes to these treatments because they were already a big name from the clinic, the skincare clinic treatments. And they have two serums. The one that is really successful at the moment is the Rejuran Turnover Ampoule. And then we have a brand called Genabelle, who also brought out a whole skincare range. So cream, toner, ampoule, etc. All with that, again, salmon-based PDRN. Now, if you're a vegan or vegetarian, I'm happy to tell you that there are also vegan and vegetarian alternatives to the salmon one, or maybe you just find it a bit gross to use salmon-based products. Someone said salmon sperm, but I don't know if that's true. I cannot find any evidence either way. It usually just says salmon, so it could also just be from their flesh or anyway. But if you're vegan, the brand VT, which you might know from their Riedel Shot Serum, which is another huge trending item that I'm still a little bit scared to try. VT also has a PDRN Essence, and that one is based off of ginseng PDRN. Now, how that works or doesn't work, I cannot tell you, but that is what the marketing copy tells me about the serum. And then we have the INNISFREE Retinol Green Tea PDRN Skin Booster Ampoule, and that one has green tea based PDRN, and it is also a product that I'm using at the moment, and I'm really, really loving it actually. It's this one in this blue bottle. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, on and off, because I've been trying, for some reason, I've been trying a lot of retinol and retinol serums lately, and I always have to kind of try them out for a while. But this I've been using a couple of weeks and I really enjoy it. This also contains retinol, so not just the PDRN. Of course, it's always hard to say which of the substances does have the amazing effect. But compared to a regular low percentage retinol, I find this has a very clear sort of smoothing and, yes, I think slightly plumping effect on my skin. It also has a beautiful texture. Also, you only need a tiny, teeny bit and it spreads very well over the face. And it is very, very gentle. So this one I can really recommend. I'll show you a texture shot somewhere as well so that you can see it also has a really lovely, just smooth gel texture. As a sort of first time retinol / PDRN, I'm just going to try out what it can do product. I think this is really, really fantastic. I find PDRN a very interesting ingredient. I'm still a bit skeptical if it really can do what is promised, simply because there aren't any studies showing whether it can or cannot perform the same way as the injectables. But on the other hand, I'm also one of those people that doesn't just dismiss an ingredient just because there aren't any studies, because that doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means there aren't any studies, if you know what I mean. So I think it's a promising ingredient. We will have to see whether or not it will live up to the hype. The second key beauty trend, skincare trend that I've been seeing that seemed to come out of nowhere and now it's everywhere are cleanser packs. You might have seen these around already. A couple of influencers, I think, have gotten interested in them, and I can see why, because they're quite nice to play with on your skin. I think they work very well in reels. You can do a lot of, patting your skin and applying them, looking very intensely dramatic over it. But basically, they're just these all-in-one cleansers that come in a tub. So they don't come in the tube, they come in a tub, and they're supposed to be a one-step, very nourishing, very intense cleanser. Very often they're also advertised as working as a sort of 3-in-1. So they're supposed to cleanse, exfoliate, and you can use them as a leave-on mask that you then wash off. I think the reason why people are so keen about them is really their texture. I see if I can find some pictures. I haven't bought any of these cleansers yet, so unfortunately I cannot show you any of these, but I wanted to talk about the trend because it's just more and more brands are coming out with these. I just see them everywhere now, so this really has kind of taken off in Korea. The most successful brand here is a brand I also probably can't pronounce, called Arencia? Question mark? Again, I put it somewhere. If not in the video, in the description box somewhere. They've brought out a whole range of cleansers. The most successful one certainly is their green cleanser, which is for sort of impurities, blemishes, and acne-prone skin. It's called the Fresh Green Cleanser, and they have this really beautiful, the Arencia cleansers have this beautiful sort of clay-based but very soft sort of, they call it mochi texture that really sort of has this bounciness. So again, I think it just works very well for influencers to take, get ready with me or get unready with me or texture shot type reels and TikTok videos with. So I feel we will be seeing a lot more in the West on these all-in-one cleanser packs. I'm skeptical whether or not they can actually take off makeup, but I think as a sort of more nourishing, gentle, and kind of just fun second step cleanser, I'm kind of into them. They're usually a little bit more pricey though. And the other thing I'm not sure about is if they're very hygienic, because I mean, I guess you can use a spatula, but I certainly prefer the tube to the top, where you always kind of have to dig in either your fingers or again a spatula. Just seems like an extra hassle. They also don't seem very travel friendly, but I can totally understand why people in Korea are going crazy for them. A lot of them also come from either vegan brands or sort of natural skincare brands. And as I've said before in another trend update, I think from last year, the year before, Koreans kind of seem to equate vegan skincare with healthy or natural or safe skincare. So the vegan label is kind of always, I think, a mark that this is especially gentle, skin-friendly, and sensitive skin-friendly skincare. So apart from Arencia, there are a couple of other brands that have started bringing out those whipped cleanser packs or all-in-one, whipped texture cleanser packs or all-in-one cleanser packs. One brand is called Whipped. They've also brought out a whole range of those cleanser packs, and all of them are vegan. They look really appealing texture-wise, so I'm kind of curious about them. Also a little bit pricier, so I'm still on the fence whether or not I should get them. And then there is the Ariul Apple Cider Whipping Cream Cleanser, which was all the rage last year and is still very successful. That one probably works best for younger skin because it seems a little bit intense. I think it might have some type of exfoliation going on. I'm not sure if it's too sensitive skin friendly. It's another one of those whipped all-in-one, can be used as a clay pack or as just a general cleanser type of one-step cleansers. I do find it a fun trend. Again, I'm skeptical if they can get off everything in one go. More and more brands are going to bring out those cleanser packs because they're just so popular. And then the next trend is certainly not a new thing. This has truly been around for years and years. However, for some reason, this year, every brand is just bringing out a new version of this. I don't know who started it or why it's suddenly becoming so big, because again, these have been around for ages. But yeah, now they are all the rage, and you will see one version of this from all the big and popular brands, really. And I'm talking about modeling masks. So in case you don't know what a modeling mask is, these actually started out, just as the PDRN, started out in skincare clinics and in spas. It was kind of a special treatment, predominantly as part of a facial or sometimes as a calm down sort of treatment after you had your whatever intense, I guess, PDRN or something else being injected or taken off your skin as sort of treatment to just kind of calm everything down. They usually come in powder form, and then you mix them up either with water or with a toner, or with some type of special essence, some type of liquid that has also hydrating ingredients in them. The at-home ones, usually you just kind of mix up with water, and then it turns into almost like a sticky, gluey type of substance that you then put all over your face. You leave out the eyes, but you usually do put it also over your lips and your mouth, which I would find so suffocating and scary. But anyway, I have a deviated septum, so I need to know that I can breathe through my mouth. But usually the idea is to really seal in everything, also around the lip area, and then you let it sit. Very often you also put a special serum underneath that mask, and because it's got this sticky, gluey substance, it solidifies, and then underneath the hydration gets sealed in and really sinks into the skin. So after you take off the mask, which you can usually just kind of rip off really carefully so you don't have to wash it off, it's quite convenient, your skin will look super plump, super smooth. I haven't tried a modeling mask yet because I'm a bit lazy about my mask treatments these days, I have to say. I can maybe manage a sheet mask, but I don't know, I don't do them as much anymore as I used to when I was younger, even though I need them more now. So maybe I should get a modeling mask. But people have reported that the skin really just feels amazing afterwards. And you really have that sort of spa feeling of having treated yourself to something special. They're usually also quite affordable. So it's just kind of one of those skincare items that you can just take with you for a couple of dollars and kind of feel fancy. I think that might be why people right now find them so appealing, because at-home spa treatments are also getting more and more popular because we all don't have money anymore. So yeah, maybe that is the reason. But as I've said, it's not technically a new thing, but now every big brand is bringing out their version of a modeling mask, usually a couple of different versions. MEDIHEAL is probably, I would say, the most successful brand. Their modeling masks have really taken off. They have been such bestsellers. After the toner pads, now the modeling masks are really sort of driving that modeling mask trend. And then we have Torriden. They brought out 2 modeling masks that are also pretty much instant hits, instant bestsellers in Korea. And then yesterday I saw that Talba also brought out their more luxury version of the modeling mask, a little bit pricier as Talba tends to be. And theirs is with white truffle oil and some fancy serum. Most of these have an extra essence that you apply first, as I said, pretty much mimicking that spa or skincare clinic treatment. The MEDIHEAL ones are usually around $8 for one. And I think the Torriden one is also around $8 to $10. That is for one use. The only thing that I think many of you will probably not like about these is that they produce a lot of rubbish, a lot of stuff that you throw out for just using it once, because you get the little like a little cup to mix them up, and then you get the essence, and then you get the modeling pack itself that you then mix up with a spatula that also is provided usually. So there's a lot of stuff that you need for this treatment. But I can also see the appeal because it does look just like a little bit of pampering. And again, we kind of all are in need of pampering in these slightly trying times. So I think we will be seeing more modeling masks from more and more brands. I'm kind of waiting for Amore Pacific to kind of start their own rollout in their various brands, and algae, because I think it fits especially the algae brands, but we'll see. For now, I would say that the MEDIHEAL ones are the most affordable ones, and also they have a nice variety. They have collagen one, a tea tree one, a hyaluronic acid one. So if you want to try them out, I think this is a good brand to go with, because they're usually also very solid. All of their products have always been really great for me. And now I've got 2 makeup trends, Korean makeup trends for you. And the first one is lip and cheek pots. This is so huge, and again, seemed to have come out of nowhere, started by one brand in particular, whose lip and cheek pots were so popular, so viral, that it just feels like all the other brands just kind of instantly went after that and went, okay, we need more of these. I'm not actually sure if they were the first ones or just the first ones to make them this popular, but FWEE or FWEE, again, I don't know how to pronounce that brand. FWEE, FWEE, I'm guessing, is the most dominant player when it comes to these lip and cheek pots. So FWEE or FWEE has been really killing it lately in Korean makeup. Their products have gone viral. They've been so successful. Fun fact, FWEE is actually the makeup sister of the skincare brand Numbers In. They come from the same company and they are equally successful. And I've really been enjoying their products as well. I actually got one of their lip and cheek pots. So they look like this. They're also just really well designed. The packaging is always really interesting. So they are called the FWEE Lip and Cheek Blurry Pudding Pots. And these have really gone ultra viral in Korea, and they did it really, really fast. I think one of the reasons why they are so successful is because they come in a huge variety of colors and different color families. So they offer a lot of reds and a lot of colors, sort of brownish colors as well, purple colors, but really strong purples that you usually don't find that easily in Korean makeup. Their shade range is usually quite limited in terms of lips, I find, which works for me because I like the pinks quite a lot that they have. But I always feel if you want something a little bit more different, it's always hard to find. So I feel the moment someone brings out more unique shades, Koreans actually go really crazy for those. And the other reason these are really successful, I think, is because they're just multi-purpose products, which is always really interesting. So they can be used either as a blush, as a sort of cream blush, or you can use them as a lip stain. That seems to be the more preferred usage from what I've seen. The texture is usually that of a mousse or a very soft sort of pudding or custard style texture. They're very blendable, so you have to be really careful to only use a little bit. I made that mistake before when I tried them out. And they're also really, really pigmented. They create that sort of mousse-like texture, very similar to the Peri Pera Airy Whip lip tints, if you remember those. Again, they just come in a huge variety of colors. They work very well on the cheeks as well. For me, they're a little bit too strong on the cheek, at least this color. But I do think it's quite nice to have them as a sort of travel accessory as well, or to just put in your purse. A lot of other brands have now started bringing out their version of these as well. So Holika has brought out their Melting Blur Lip Pot. And again, a variety of very beautiful colors, although they go more into the pinkish range. And Hera has their Sensual Lip and Cheek Pot. Now, these ones, I'm not sure if they haven't already been around for a while or if they are new. I don't know the Hera range well enough to know. But even if they were around before, they certainly weren't as viral as the FWEE ones. And one that I have also gotten and quite liked, although I think the color isn't 100% perfect on me, is the WAKEMAKE Over Blurring Pot. So this one is very similar to the FWEE one, also with that sort of mousse-like texture, and they also come in a variety of colors. They're also usually very affordable, so they're a nice one to just kind of try out, really, if you want to partake in the trend. I see if I show you a swatch somewhere of the two that I have. Yeah, it's a fun trend, I think. I look forward to seeing more brands bring these out, and they probably will, because it really is a huge trend. The last trend is also a makeup trend, Korean makeup trend. It is one that I don't think I will be able to partake in. This is a sort of product category that was not made for my skin. And it is color correcting cushions and powders. Now, color correcting is also not new. There was a huge color correcting trend when makeup YouTube was really big. I don't know if someone remembers how they all kind of painted their faces like a clown, basically, in various shades of whatever color correcting they had, and then kind of blended it all together, and it always looked amazing. That never worked on me, but with the magic of editing and a lot more makeup skills than I will ever have, they always managed to make it into very interesting finished looks. So color correcting, the basic idea is that you use a specific color to counteract or to cancel out a problem area in your skin. For instance, mint green or sort of olive green color is supposed to cancel out redness in the skin. Now, the current generation of Korean color correcting cushions and powders is mostly focused on counteracting and canceling out too much yellow in the skin of Korean people. I need to be careful here what I say, because I do think a lot of it is sort of based on this ideal that Koreans seem to strive for of almost sort of snowy white, very, very pale skin. Since I'm neither Korean nor any other type of POC, as a white European German woman, I just don't think it's my place to dive into the colorism that is certainly present in Korean culture. I think Korea-based influencers are the ones that, and people with Korean ethnicity are the ones that we should listen to when they talk about this. So I can only talk about the makeup trend without being able to make too many cultural or socioeconomic comments on this, because it would just come across as basically arrogant and uneducated. But the basic principle is to counteract the yellow in the skin, because it's supposed to make people look saggy or too sallow or too quote-unquote dull. The main color here that is usually used is a sort of lavender shade, which if I put it on my skin, which I have tried just to see what happens, just makes me look sick. So these really do not work for my skin. A lot of these cushions also use a sort of bluish hue. And then we have a lot of powders that also mix in a green shade. WAKEMAKE brought out the Stay Fixer multi-color powder, which has 3 different compartments with 3 different color correcting tones that you can then either mix together or use singular to create that perfect color corrected base. And then just recently, Laneige brought out a lavender version of their Neo Cushion. I think it's called Neo Cushion powder, Neo Finish powder. I actually have the regular version, which is this one. You might have seen it. Influencers suddenly went crazy over this. Really cool cushion, sort of sponge net texture that looks quite nice in videos. Mine doesn't anymore because I've actually used it and it doesn't look as presentable anymore. But this, basically this in a lavender tone, again for toning up the skin and sort of brightening up the complexion and supposedly working against dullness in the skin. And then ESPOIR brought out the Dew-like Jello tone up cushions. They brought out 3 versions. One is a peach one is a sort of bluish color, and again a lavender cushion. So these are cushions, not powders, and you can use them either as a primer base or as a standalone foundation cushion. They look really beautiful on the models, but again, I don't think any of those shades would work on me. So this is just a trend that is not for me. But it doesn't have to be, because I'm not the main target audience of a Korean skincare brand, that's for sure. But yeah, we will see more color correcting products coming out, I'm pretty sure, especially the lavender base. Just at the moment, everyone seems to be really going for that look. And that was my little Key Beauty trend update for autumn. I've seen a lot of other trends, but I wanted to focus on these 5 because they do seem to be quite dominant and prominent. If you are new here, it would be lovely if you stuck around and subscribe. It always helps us small creators a ton. if you leave a subscription. Also leaving a like and a comment, of course, always helps with the algorithm. Also, I love reading your comments. And let me know if you've seen any other trends emerging. As I've said, the Riedel shot one is a big one, but I'm still kind of nervous about those serums, so I have not purchased any of them. For now, I'm sticking with my retinols and retinols. I don't know about the needles. I just don't know. I don't know. Let me know if you've already tried these Riedel shot ones. If you've tried any of the other trends, the PDRN treatments or serums. And I'll see you again next week or the week after for a new video. And until then, please take care. Bye.